Well, folks, it looks like I'm doing something that I never thought I would in the Pokemon world. Now, no, this is not a forever gig. I am still focused on sealed product. I enjoy selling sealed product, but somebody saw us through the power of the internet and reached out on Instagram. I don't know if they want to be named, so I'm not going to name them. Now, it's interesting because I've been saying for a couple months now, like, I have no interest in becoming a vendor. It's not really my style. It's not really my thing. I don't like dealing with people on that level. And hey, they saw the stream. I think they might have even called into the stream and I didn't know it at the time, but they hit me up on Instagram and they're like, bro, you got to come out to 703 Holiday Bazaar. And I'm like, nah, thanks for opportunity, bro, but it's not really going to help my business. And they're like, I think it will. And so I'm going to do some chatting. We're going to meet up and we're going to talk and we're going to find out what happens. I always say this. I know Brian from PokeNE always says this as well. Just make a YouTube channel. I'm telling you, whether it was my last YouTube channel or this YouTube channel, every connection I've ever made, every sponsor, every whatever, not that this is a sponsor because it's not a sponsor. I'm just saying that most of the people that I've met that have helped me or been beneficial to me were through the power of the internet, were through this camera, sometimes even the exact same camera. They saw a video, they saw a live stream, they saw whatever, they want to get connected. And we went from there. And I'm telling you guys, you have got to get on the camera. Talk about your hobby, talk about whatever you're interested in, man. If you like going on eBay, you like going on TCG Player, you like flipping, I don't know, you like collecting the Pokemon only or the sealed product, there's really no reason that you shouldn't take advantage of YouTube. It's just such a powerful tool. So if any of you have tips for me for my very first show, I would love to hear them. I've certainly been watching other people's videos and maybe they mentioned bring some water, bring some shoes, whatever. I don't care. Let me know what you think is ideal to bring. I do want to bring like some shelving, not quite this large, but like some of my smaller ones. And then I could put some sealed back there, right? Because again, I like to focus on sealed, but I get it. It's a card show. I got to bring slabs. Now, my thing is this has been the hardest thing for me is like, oh, how much do I go into my personal collection? The market is certainly down. And so like, I don't want to sell a lot of these items when they're down. That being said, I also don't want to go to the show with nothing. As far as slabs, I probably have like 30 slabs. Now, of those 30 slabs, how many do I really want to sell? 10. Maybe I want to sell 10 of them. But, there's also some other ones. Like, for example, some of the evolutions. Do I really want to sell the evolutions? I don't think so. But then again, like, what am I going to have at the show? I mean, I'm not sure what people would be interested in. I know when I go to shows, I like a lot of maybe $10 to $20 cards, which I do have an okay amount of. I've noticed I have a lot of like dollar cards, $2 cards, little IRs here and there. I'm not sure if people would be interested in those. I'm going to bring them anyways, right? Because again, I don't know what I'm doing and I never know what people are looking for. When I go to a lot of these shows, I've been trying to get Black Bolt, White Flare from Master Set, the little things, the Pokeballs, the Master Balls. I'm thinking about bringing a lot of that stuff as well. But I've also seen some other YouTubers talk and they say, I don't really bring that stuff. But then again, when I ask myself, what do I look for? That's what I look for. And so I don't know how many people go to these shows for master setting. I've certainly noticed most people are bringing like upper tier items. Again, at least in Richmond, Virginia, they're bringing nice quality $100, $200 slabs, $500 slabs, but nobody's really hitting the market for the lower end stuff. And then you can also find other YouTube videos where people go over there and they buy every dollar card they have because maybe they put that on Whatnot. I don't know. I don't really care what people are going to do with the product. I just know I want to have a little bit of everything. I do have a little bit more Mega Dream left. I lowered the price down to $120 on the store. And I think I have like maybe 10 left of these. So these have actually done really well. Japanese has done fantastic for us. I don't know how it would perform at the show, but thankfully it doesn't take much space, as you can see. So whatever doesn't sell on the store, I guess really by tomorrow, because I have to leave tomorrow. And it's crazy because like, I really told myself, I'm never going to a show. No way, dude. This is never going to be it. But hey, if the right people invite you and the right situations happen to happen and it goes well, you just never know. Kind of goes against what I've been saying. Fair enough. Very valid. So another reason I was very convinced is it's actually at a really good area. Not maybe necessarily in the immediate area, but right around the corner. And so I'm going to make it into a family trip. It is my daughter's birthday. Actually, her birthday was yesterday. That's why I didn't make a video for y'all, but it is the weekend. So we're going to celebrate it, have a good time. A very beautiful area, not far from there. I'm not going to tell you where I'm staying at. Don't worry about that. You don't need to know where I'm staying at, but we're going to make it into a family trip. So that's kind of how I made it a better situation. I was like, it's the daughter's birthday anyways. She wanted to go out of town, maybe like Richmond Houston or somewhere anyways, and we were probably going to spend a similar amount of money to have that same fun. So why not meet some people, hear some opportunities, and maybe sell a couple things. So coming into it, I have a lot of cards. Some of them are 9s and some of them are 10s, but there's a lot of cards that are down a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. If the cards are down a lot, I really don't have any interest in selling them. I'm going to put them at market value. And if somebody offers me like $5 off, if it's like $150 card, I would be willing to take it. But seriously, I'm not like desperate to sell the cards at all. Now, if it's something less desirable, and then a PSA 10 like this Superior, if somebody offered me a 90% or something, I would definitely take it for that, because like, what is the long-term potential with something like this? I don't think it's nearly as great as like Destined Rivals, as my prismatic items. That's kind of my strategy going in. Anything 151, I don't really have a lot of room on, because again, a lot of this stuff's down already. And this is really like the perfect opportunity to be buying things, in my opinion. Would I go all out and buy? I probably wouldn't, but there's definitely a lot of things you can look around at and say, wow, this card is now down 20, 30%. So even if you end up paying market or really close to market for a lot of Pokemon cards right now, it kind of makes sense. Here's a Prismatic Evolutions Leafeon PSA 10. Now, I bought this for $500 cash, already graded and everything, probably 3-4 months ago, whenever the last market downturn was, slow down, whatever. Yeah, $500 cash. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is up to $700. So a situation like that, guys, I mean, I wouldn't mind selling this for pretty close to $7. You know what I mean? $680, $675, something around there. That's perfectly fine with me, because hey, dude, anytime you can make $200 in a couple months, I'm trying to think of it as a percentage. And that's really what I like to look at. It's not the dollar value per se. I mean, sure, yeah, oh, that's only $200. But think about, dude, $500 turning into close to $700. Look at the percentage gain in such a low amount of time. If I put my money into the S&P 500, which I do, into my retirement and stuff, I'd be lucky to make 7-8%. So to make 20% just like that, oh, all day. All day, you can have it. You can have it. Now, do I think these evolutions are going to go back to $1,000 at some point? Absolutely. But the real question for me is like, when? Am I going to hold it another year or 2 or 3 and just tie up even more money into these cards that are beautiful and they're great and I love them with all of my heart? But at the same time, I mean, I could reallocate those funds and help my business. And so like, do these cards help my business? Not really, not what my actual goals are. Again, my goals are to one day hopefully land distribution, very long term. And on the way there, before doing all of that, I need to get more sales for my website, for my Shopify. And so yeah, the cards sitting around, yes, they look pretty, but they don't really help the business. And as I told you guys in my most recent video, my 2026 goals, I'm just hyper focused on business, and my business in particular, of course, right? Like, boom, why would I not be interested in my own business? I've just been asking myself, what can I get rid of that would actually help me in the business? Because there's been some really good opportunities with this slowdown, to be honest with you. Here's an example I've been talking about. I just picked up 151 bundles. I got 47 of these, not for a crazy deal. They're about $80 each. Now, don't ask me. I'm not looking to buy more at 80. I would be buying more at like $70. 75, probably not, but I would buy more at $70. And so this is something where like I have to sit on it a little bit. I got it about 20% under market. So I paid roughly 80% of market. I think they're going for about $100, maybe 96, somewhere around there. So yes, on one hand, I could put those on the store right now. I could probably sell them for like 95, but then it's 151. I mean, how much longer is 151 going to be around? I think 151 is such a good product that it's not something I have to sit on for a year or 2 or 3. I genuinely think in 2026, at some point, we're going to see the market pick up. And yeah, 151 products in general really should go up another 20, 30%. I don't think that's too far-fetched. And again, I don't think it's that far away. At some point, fairly soon-ish, I do think these things are going to go up and people are going to figure it out. Wait a minute. Hey, how much longer do we have with 151? And now having 47 of these booster bundles, not just offloading them super quick, but being a little bit smarter with good product, I think it's a good strategy for us. I got to tell you, we've got a lot of inventory lately. I've been taking advantage. I have aggressively been buying. I told you guys about the Surging Sparks, right? I picked up, 22 Surging Sparks. I've been picking up Stellar Crown, things that are 50% off, literally 50% off of its all-time high. Like, of course I'm going to pick that stuff up. You know what I mean? I'm not buying at the top. We're buying at the freaking bottom. I mean, it could go down a little bit more for sure, but I'm going to take advantage of this. And I'm looking at it and I say, what could could I sell in my collection that will then reallocate those funds? Because believe it or not, guys, it is certainly a buyer's market. I cannot tell you the amount of people that are offloading really quality products. I'm seeing Prismatic Evolution booster bundles. I'm starting to see them come down for like $45. Not quite at my price target where I would want it, but it's getting a lot closer. Like I said, 151, $80 range. I'm seeing those pretty easily. Now, if you buy in bulk, now if you're just buying one, you're gonna have to pay market or pretty close. But if you're spending, $5,000, definitely if you're spending $10,000, you're gonna get a much better deal. There's not as many whales or dolphins buying up a lot of inventory. So yeah, I think hopefully at this show, we can make like $500. I would be surprised if I sold $500. What I think is more than likely gonna happen is people are gonna pass me. They're gonna look at my stuff. They're gonna be like, oh, look at this brokey. They're gonna say, oh my God, he's got a PSA 9 Victini and a PSA 9 Zekrom, but the 10, I got a 10 Reshiram. That's cool, right? That's pretty cool. I think most people are gonna laugh at me, but I don't know if people buy that kind of stuff. The 3 cards I just showed you, I mean, they're unbelievably rare to get. That Victini, good luck. That Zekrom, good luck, right? It's very hard. I've opened up thousands of packs and I've only found 2 of those Zekrom BWRs, right? And I've never found a Victini myself, unfortunately. I had to do a rip and chip through Nostalgianomics and he actually pulled it for me, so shout out to Nostalgianomics for that one. I have a newfound respect for people who choose to vend because, oh my goodness, I have already priced out probably 300 things. I mean, it is so time consuming. I don't know how you people do it. The money better be worth it because I'm like sitting there like, dude, this is not like something that I am good at. This is a lot of work. I don't know if there's a better system or something, but like put little stickers on. I know some people, they'll just leave it all out and you have to ask them the price. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never been a fan of that. When I see people that do that, I don't like their booth. I'm just gonna be honest. No shade thrown. I'm just saying when I'm buying, I look at the price, okay? And if you don't have the price, you're too lazy to price it out. For me, I usually keep it moving. Maybe that's the good thing to do though. I don't know, right? Maybe that saves you. I mean, it definitely saves you probably like 10 hours of work, which is insane to think about. So from what I could see, this is a pretty big show. I definitely don't think it's as big as a Collecticon or something, but it's definitely bigger than like a small local show. A lot of the shows that I like to go to. So it's gonna be pretty intimidating, but I'm excited for the challenge. Bring it on. So if you think you can make it to Nova, this is not sponsored or anything. I'm not getting paid to do this, just so you're aware. I'm literally just giving them free promotion here. If you're out there in Nova, definitely hit me up. I will be there Saturday. I'm super excited to meet a couple of you. I don't expect to have like a huge following. I'd be lucky to see 2 people that recognize me, but that would make my day. So say, hey DJ, what's up, bro? Yo. Love the stuff, man. Love the channel. That'd be really cool to meet some of you. We said we never would, but yet here we are. Exciting times, man. And like I said, I'll tell you all about it afterwards. As far as live stream, I have considered doing it on my phone. I'm not really sure if that do well on my channel. What do you guys think? Do you want to see a live stream of it? I see a lot of people live streaming these events, and unless they're like Coop or some of the big dogs, it's kind of confusing on my channel because we're not really vendors. We don't really do the vendor POV thing. So I'm not sure how well that would even do, to be honest with you, but there'll be some kind of content certainly coming out. I appreciate every single one of you. If you made it to the end of the video, put in hashtag 904, hashtag 904. That's a friend of mine. We had PokeJax on our stream. Shout out to my boy PokeJax, man. Cool dude. Peace.